It was a great conversation the other day on the Autoline channel. This is John McElroy, who runs the Autoline channel. Got Gary here, David down below, and Joe White. What's really striking about this video is the way that Joe White and David is from Bloomberg. This guy, David, at the bottom there, he's from Bloomberg. The way they talk so positively about Tesla, how negative they are about the rest of the auto industry. And this is in contrast to what you see from their headlines, particularly Bloomberg is just constantly trashing Tesla. Reuters is somewhat biased. I don't think they're quite as bad as Bloomberg, but Bloomberg is constantly trashing Tesla. You have these conversations where these guys are talking, and you can see that David and Joe and John and probably Gary, they all think that Tesla is winning by far. There's some great moments in here. Let's dive into it. Are you ready? Let's go.
My feeling about Rivian, with all due respect, is that they're sort of like the Detroit Tigers, right? They have a losing record, but because everyone else in the division is so terrible, they're in second place. And and I think, right, David? I mean, it's the other companies in this space, Lucid, Fisker, had much worse results and cut their forecasts. And I think the street did not like that.
That's right, and I think in Fisker's case, they even delayed a launch of the pair. I think.
So Rivian is number 2 in the race. Tesla's number 1. Everybody else is pathetic. So the Detroit Tigers, not a particularly good baseball team, are number 2 because everyone else is terrible. That's just the beginning. It gets better. Let's keep going.
This electric vehicle thing is hard, and I know that sounds maybe a little bit flippant, but think about it. I mean, the GM Ultium program is, in terms of volume, way behind where we thought it would be. And they're finally getting that going. And Mary Barra says this will be their breakout year, but it's behind. Toyota, the BZ4X, the wheels literally came off the car. And look, give Toyota their props. They're probably the best manufacturer in the world.
They probably were the best manufacturer in the world. They aren't the best manufacturer in the world. They were the best manufacturer in the world. Toyota isn't the best anymore.
Everybody copies the Toyota manufacturing system, and the wheels fell off their EV. So you have these startups with far less experience, new plants or retrofitted old plants, not nearly as much money, and it's really tough to do. So I look at these companies and they have delays, which means it's just that much further, that many more years out before they can generate their own cash.
The competition is coming, or the competition is comical.
And all these companies need to be self-sustaining. And to Joe's point, kind of talking about Rivian maybe being the best ballerina in Galveston, they have a lot of money, and they're further along in production, so they have the best chance of making it. But all those other companies are at much higher risk. Lucid's kind of somewhere in the middle. They've got a decent slug of cash, but not enough for them to not have to raise money in the next couple of years.
No, they said they'll run out of money in a year.
You'd have to run out of money in a year. No, that's right.
I mean, what I mean is some of these other guys may run out of money.
Metal manufacturing that's causing trouble. I mean, look at Polestar and Volvo. I think today both basically said they're going to delay the launches of their respective electric vehicles that they've promised, and because they can't get the software, or Volvo can't get the software right on the common platform. Volkswagen is struggling with software. So in addition to sort of the kind of physical stuff that automakers are used to dealing with, you have these software challenges that a number of these companies are finding difficult to manage.
Is there a company that's good at software? I kind of think rhymes with Smesla. Maybe. All these companies are struggling. The competition is. How long have we seen headlines? The competition is coming. Look out, Tesla. Here's this great vehicle. Blah 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 blah. And now you hear it from these guys these are auto industry journalists who routinely, their publications routinely crap on Tesla. They will rarely say that Tesla is winning in their publications, but these two guys are saying it. You're going to hear more of it.
It matters that these companies are not fielding the product, because while they're not fielding product, Tesla is, and Tesla is resetting the price levels in the sort of in the core of the EV market right now. They're also, and I'm going to credit Morgan Stanley for this, they had a report, I think, yesterday, that looked at how much money Tesla stands to gain from the Inflation Reduction Act subsidies, and it's a huge amount of money. It's 40+ billion. I'm doing that off the top of my head, but it's
I
something
think it was
like that.
47, Joe. It was a
47.
crazy number.
Yeah, across by 2030. So
Sounds like Tesla's doing pretty well here. I'm not sure why we don't see this kind of coverage in media. This is the thing, like when you see like somebody talking about catalysts for Tesla stock and what's gonna make Tesla stock go higher. Like if this conversation was the top news for the auto industry, if with the Reuters and Bloomberg and McElroy, whatever, all say Tesla's winning, Tesla's dominating the auto industry, Tesla is setting the prices in the auto industry, Tesla, if that was the headlines constantly, then maybe Wall Street would be buying more Tesla stock. But it keeps getting better.
you start piling. I mean, Tesla starts piling up that financial advantage. Morgan Stanley focused on the threats to GM and Ford, sure, but before GM and Ford get run over by this, I think some of these startups might, because they have less financial flexibility. And so I think there's a real risk here if you're not out there, harvesting this money that's on the table, and somebody else is.
And somebody else is Tesla. So Tesla is, yes, he basically admitted Tesla is going to crush GM and Ford, that's going to crush Rivian and Lucid first. And, whatever other EV startups. Just constantly, like these guys are just constantly saying that Tesla is killing it. And of course, there's more.
They're rushing it because for the longest time, if you didn't have a great EV story that was getting fully engaged, nobody wanted to buy your stock. Now it turns out that even if you have that, they don't want to buy your stock.
Right.
Which is
It
another
matter.
story in itself.
Yeah,
Investors don't like auto companies, period. They like Tesla and they don't like the rest of them.
What? Investors don't like auto companies in general. They just like Tesla. This is Bloomberg's reporter. This guy, David, at the bottom here, David, is Bloomberg's reporter on the auto industry. And he's saying that Tesla is crushing it, right? He is saying Tesla is crushing it. Bloomberg has constant negative coverage of Tesla in their publication. And here's the guy who understands the auto industry from Bloomberg's perspective saying Tesla's killing it. Tesla is the stock. Everybody else is in trouble. Keeps going.
Trying to pander to a bunch of investors to get them to like your legacy auto company stock is it's like the sign at the bar that says free beer tomorrow. It's just not going to happen.
I just love this guy. This is fun.
So far, Ford is the only automaker with the guts to publish how much money it's losing on EVs. So there's my question. I'll start with you, Joe. How much longer can these guys afford to lose money on their EVs?
That's a great question, and I think, I think the answer is obviously not that much longer and not forever.
How much longer can all these companies afford to keep losing money on EVs? The competition is comical. They're not coming. Tesla is the competition. Tesla is coming for the auto industry.
The vehicles that make the money at all three of the Detroit companies are big combustion pickup trucks and SUVs, and that just is a fact. And yes, Elon Musk makes money on his electric cars, but as far as I can tell, he's the only one doing so. Well, BYD is doing it in China, but in North America, among the North American OEMs, I think he's the only one making any kind of real money. And he's now suborning his own pricing in order to gain market share.
So Elon's the only one making money. BYD may or may not make money on EVs. They make money in general, but a lot of that's hybrids, and China's a different market. There's all kinds of issues with BYD, but basically Elon and Tesla are the only ones making money selling EVs. Joe White, Reuters. And now Tesla is starting to control the market by lowering prices and affecting whether other companies can even make money at all selling EVs. Dominating performance.
If GM hits the targets they say they're going to hit by mid-decade, they'll be producing more of these vehicles than probably everybody except Tesla. And they still, even with that kind of scale, need government money to make up profits. So look, it's going to be a while before everyone's making money on this. And I think there are a lot of reasons why a lot of these forecasts on EV sales and market penetration could come up short. I'm not sure the consumer demand is going to be there in the mass market. Right now, it's penetrating the luxury market, but not the mass market. But the automakers themselves may pull back on some of these plans if, depending on where the economy is and where their profits are.
But yeah, the other companies can't do it. Tesla is coming out with a mass market vehicle. I already have Model 3 and Model Y are already mass market vehicles to an extent, especially when you include the tax credit. But then you add in, the next generation vehicle platform, which is going to be roughly half the price of a Model 3, maybe around $20,000. People are calling it a $25,000 car. I think it's a $20,000 car. We'll see what Tesla is able to pull off there. But that gets you to that price point, and nobody else seems to be able to get there. They did talk at some point about GM having an Equinox at under $40,000. We'll see if they're actually able to deliver that. But the traditional auto industry, the legacy automakers, are really, really struggling. And these are guys who follow legacy auto, right? Consistently. And this conversation that journalists who cover the auto industry are saying Tesla is winning, Tesla is crushing it. This is the game. This is the big deal. So Tesla is the next Tesla. There's no other next Tesla. It's not Rivian. It's not Lucid. It's not some Chinese company. Tesla is the next Tesla. T-shirts at elonbits.com. Stainless steel water bottles at elonbits.com too. And please support me on the Locals platform on Patreon, as a YouTube channel member, as a Twitter subscriber. Check out my other videos. Please like this video, share, and subscribe. Let everybody know journalists say Tesla's winning. Thanks so much for watching.